What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Black Spire by Delilah S. Dawson. So I am not gonna lie, when I finished this book, I was very angry. It really did kind of affect my enjoyment level of this book, but I do want to start off by saying that this is a must read. It is a really great addition to the Star Wars lineup, and I really do think that it is very important, especially going into the Rise of Skywalker. While this is a Galaxy's Edge tie-in novel, there's so much in here about the Resistance and about what they're doing on Batuu and like leading up into the Rise of Skywalker. So if you really want any of those details at all, you should read this book, or you should watch my video on Thursday where I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. I'll also talk about it on Lipstick and Lightsabers. Let me just plug everything for a minute. But first 50% of this book, absolutely loved it. I was ready for Black Spire to be my new favorite Star Wars book. I couldn't believe it. This is kind of a little bit a sequel to Phasma in that our main character is Vi Marati from that book, and it's also further exploring her relationship with Cardinal, who is now going by the name of Archex. So for those of you guys who don't remember, at the end of Phasma, her and Cardinal escaped the Absolution. He is now in the custody of the Resistance, and he is now going with Vi to Batuu in order to set up a new Resistance command base. And I love baby boy Archex so much because he is so damaged, he is so tortured, he is so broken, and he just really needs a hug. I really loved it. The angst was amazing, and I liked seeing how he plays off with Vi because he is very kind of, he's not really with the Resistance, he doesn't really believe in them, whereas Vi believes in them like wholeheartedly, so I feel like they played very well against each other. And I also like that at the beginning of this book, everything is going wrong, nothing is going right, they crash, everything gets stolen, they have this really sassy droid with them. Pook is new, like, he is like the best. He is one of my favorite droids now because he is so freaking sassy and he just thinks the weight of the world is on his shoulders and he hates organics so much. It was great. So I loved seeing all of that, but as the story goes on, obviously, you know, Vi is recruiting more people, she's trying to, you know, make the Resistance a little bit bigger, she's meeting more characters, we get a little bit of a plot going into it with the First Order, and it just really started to fall flat for me, and it started to get very repetitive. We kept going back into Batuu, going to kind of the same places. We were spending more time with new characters than with old characters whose stories like really needed to get moving, and I really did feel like this book could have benefited if it had been told from both Vi and Archex's perspective, because seeing Cardinal like retake his name of Archex and seeing him really struggling with not having a purpose and not knowing what he's doing anymore gets really lost because Delilah just focused in on Vi's story because, like, yeah, she's great, she's kick-ass, she's got stuff she's got to do, she's gonna do it, she's an amazing character, and she's also on the ace spectrum, which was amazing, and I'll talk about that on Thursday as well. But it really overshadowed Archex's story. And I get it, that's fine. If this is about Vi, that's great, but there is a story to be had with Archex, and we didn't get it. He really feels like he was put on the back burner in this book, and it was very disappointing. Overall, coming off of this book, what I feel the most is disappointment in Delilah Dawson, and I just really wish things could have gone differently. I will still say, though, that this is a great book. This is still a great read. I am giving it an A-, even though, like, my personal feelings are like, no, it was awful, you didn't like it, but that's not true. I did like it, and I do think, you know, if you look at it in comparison to Crash of Fate, which is also a Galaxy's Edge novel, this book does a lot better a job of having a story along with it being a tour of Batuu, and it didn't feel like it got in the way like it did with Crash of Fate. I have heard some people say otherwise, but for me, it really didn't feel like it was as in your face. It felt more lived in, it felt more like tangible, and I loved the characters that were introduced. And you really do need to read it if you want details, if you want like those speculation little bits going into episode 9. There's a lot that you learn about like Savi and his gatherers. There's a lot that you learn about the Resistance. There's a lot that you learn about kind of where we're at right now in the galaxy. There's just a lot to be said here, and I feel like there's a lot of conversation that can definitely go around with Black Spire. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything got for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!